In the heart of World War I, amidst a landscape already scarred by 2 years of brutal conflict, one battle would come to define the very soul of a nation. This is the story of the Battle of Verdun, a name that echoes through history with the weight of unimaginable sacrifice and unbreakable will. In early 1916, the German Chief of Staff, Erich von Falkenhayn, devised a chillingly simple plan. He wouldn't try to break the French lines. Instead, he would bleed France white. His target was the ancient city of Verdun. Falkenhayn knew the French would defend this historic fortress city to the last man. It was a symbol of national pride, a place they could not and would not abandon. He planned to use Germany's immense artillery superiority to turn Verdun into a meat grinder, a place where the French army would be methodically destroyed. On February 21st, 1916, at 7:15 a.m., the storm broke. A monstrous artillery barrage, the likes of which the world had never seen, rained down on the French positions around Verdun. Over 1 million shells were fired in the first 9 hours alone. The sound was deafening. The earth shook, and entire forests were vaporized. German stormtroopers, masters of infiltration tactics, advanced behind this rolling curtain of fire and steel. The initial shock was devastating. The French defenders, outnumbered and reeling from the unprecedented bombardment, were pushed back. The key stronghold of Fort Douaumont, thought to be impregnable, fell to a small German patrol in a matter of days. Said Kalisa, stunning blow to French morale. Panic began to set in. It seemed as if Verdun, and perhaps all of France, was on the brink of collapse. But then something shifted. France's leadership, recognizing the catastrophic implications of losing Verdun, made a fateful decision. General Philippe Pétain was appointed to command the defense. His arrival brought a sense of order and resolve to the chaos. He famously understood that the battle was as much about logistics as it was about fighting. Pétain's most crucial innovation was the organization of the Voie Sacrée, or the Sacred Way. This single, humble road was the only major supply line into Verdun. Day and night, a constant stream of trucks, thousands of them, rumbled along this lifeline, ferrying fresh troops, ammunition, and food to the front, and carrying the wounded back. It was an astonishing logistical feat that kept the heart of the defense beating. This Noria system, or water wheel, rotated troops in and out of the front lines, ensuring that while individual soldiers might break, the line itself would hold. The landscape around Verdun became a surreal nightmare. The constant shelling churned the earth into a sea of mud, craters, and splintered trees. Villages like Douaumont changed hands 16 times, disappearing completely from the map, its location marked only by a signpost in a field of shell holes. The fighting was intimate and savage, often taking place in hand-to-hand combat within the labyrinthine trenches and shattered forts. The Germans threw everything they had at the French lines. They introduced new and terrifying weapons like phosgene gas and flamethrowers, which turned the battlefield into a vision of hell. The French responded with equal ferocity. The battle devolved into a relentless, grinding war of attrition, exactly as Falkenhayn had planned, but not with the outcome he expected. Inside the forts, like Fort Book soldiers endured horrific conditions. Trapped in dark, damp corridors, they fought off German attacks, slowly succumbing to thirst, darkness, and the psychological torment of constant bombardment. The defense of Fort Vaux became a legend of its own, a testament to human endurance against impossible odds. As the months dragged on, the tide began to turn. The immense German effort at Verdun had a cost. They were losing men at a rate nearly as high as the French. Furthermore, the British launched their own major offensive on the Somme in July, forcing the Germans to divert crucial troops and resources away from Verdun. Sensing the shift in momentum, the French, now under the command of the aggressive General Robert Nivelle, planned a series of counter-offensives using innovative artillery tactics where shells would creep forward just ahead of the advancing infantry. The French began to claw back the land they had lost. In a remarkable series of attacks in the autumn of 1916, French forces retook Fort Douaumont and Fort Vaux. It was a stunning reversal of fortune and a massive boost to Allied morale. The very symbols of Germany's early success were now back in French hands. The psychological impact was immense. By December 18, 1916, after 10 long, brutal moans, the battle finally ground to a halt. The front lines were almost exactly where they had been in February. The grand German plan to bleed France white had failed, but the cost was staggering. The battle resulted in over 700,000 casualties killed, wounded, or missing, with the losses split almost evenly between the French and the Germans. It was one of the longest, bloodiest, and most ferocious battles in human history. Verdun was not a strategic victory in the traditional sense. No great territory was gained, but it was a monumental moral victory for France. The soldiers who fought there had faced the worst the war could throw at them and had not broken. Their defiance was encapsulated in the famous phrase, "Ils ne passeront pas, they shall not pass." Today, the battlefield of Verdun is a silent, solemn place. The ground is still scarred, the forests are pockmarked with craters, and the remains of destroyed villages are memorials to the communities that vanished. The Douaumont ossuary stands as a stark and moving tribute, holding the unidentified remains of over 130,000 French and German soldiers who fell in the battle. It serves as a powerful reminder of the shared human cost of war and a symbol of Franco-German reconciliation. The Battle of Verdun remains etched in the collective memory of France, a symbol of national resilience and the ultimate price of freedom. It stands as a testament to the soldiers who endured the unendurable and held the line, ensuring that against all odds, they shall not pass. Thank you for joining us on this journey back to one of history's most defining moments. If you found this story powerful, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more deep dives into the events that shaped our world. We'll see you next time.